Hey everyone, I just wanted to touch base this week after reviewing everyone's homework and let you kind of have some global notes, some things I was thinking as I was giving feedback on everyone's assignments. So hopefully this week is going well. Um, Overall, everyone did a really, really great job, but there are some areas for kind of general improvement. So first note, I'm encouraging everyone to really bring in the reading. So as you're making your post or making a comment, do think about what you can bring in from the readings that supports the position you're trying to make or the statement you're making. So we're really going to try to integrate the readings with our writing, and you should be trying to document at least one thing in almost everything you write if you can. Connect it back to the readings. We're looking to move beyond what we think we know and what we know from our current experience and really expand what we know by using the new material. So please do your best to incorporate that, and I will be looking for it. Also, I want to talk a little bit about what theory really is and what it is not. So a number of assignments, comments have sort of talked about people being interested in how theory will shape the future or how theory will impact society. So I want to clarify that theory is created because theorists were trying to understand something that they observed in real life. So theories help to explain conditions, experiences that have been observed and do exist and are generally considered proven. They're not actors in their own. So there is also a bit of anthropomorphizing of theory in the sense that theory has the ability, the agency to do something, to create change. So theory itself won't create change, but theory is a lens. So all of these different theories are like a different pair of glasses we put on to examine a real world scenario. In the same sense, I saw media anthropomorphized. So still some people talking about the media as a singular entity. So I really want you to try to remember that we're talking about media organizations and that media don't create themselves. You're creating media. I create media every day at work. We create media. We create content. Humans create it. The media doesn't create itself out of the ether. So be really careful in your writing, be really specific. And in that vein, make sure that try to just get as crystal clear as you can and define the words you're using. So if you're using a concept or a new idea, take a moment, step back, and think if everyone reading will understand it in the same way you do. And so you might need to slow down and sometimes define something. It's hard to give a concrete example off the top of my head, but there were a couple of times where I thought, oh, I don't understand the definition that this person's working from. So this level of work studying theory, we do have to be crystal clear about our assumptions and our definitions of terms and words. Let's see. I think I covered those notes. I've got some notes on my desk. Additionally, cultural theory, I wanted to touch on that. A lot of people said that they were most interested in cultural theory, but many people seem to be missing what cultural theory and what media theories actually can help us understand. So cultural theory is not a theory by which we understand another culture. And by another culture, that doesn't mean just foreign national cultures, but it could be a culture within your own country of origin that is not your culture. It could also be the culture of a specific school community. You know, the University of Colorado Boulder has a different culture than the University of Denver. So I just want to encourage people to consider culture beyond the nation state idea of a culture. And also, so that within that, cultural theory helps us to examine media texts within a culture. So a specific media text, what does it mean within this culture? How does the context of that culture, the norms, influence our interpretation of its meaning and significance? So it won't necessarily help us to understand why a culture is the way it is, but rather by understanding the culture, we can interpret the significance of a specific text. And the text could be physical, it could be a video, a book, a social interaction, it could be a movie, it can be a political speech. There are a lot of different texts, but with all of these theories, with media theories, we're examining media texts, mediated experiences. So not simply culture. That gets more into the realm of other social sciences or interpersonal communication or even anthropology or psychology. I think some of the questions I saw brought up got into sort of the psychological realm, and that's beyond what we are studying. So hopefully that provides some clarity. I'm always open to questions, and for those of you who've written me, keep sending your questions, and we can talk on Zoom or by video as well. The last point I want to say is if you can, really pay attention when you're making your posts, when it says, to bring in an example, a thought-provoking question, give us a super clear case study, a real-world example, something that you're dealing with at work, or you can extrapolate from work, or something that exists currently in the news. That could be our news, that could be international news. It doesn't have to be US based. I encourage people to bring in other examples out of the US context. But do try to not just ask such open, vague questions that they're almost difficult to respond to. So give us something very specific that's almost divisive or can be that people have to take a strong opinion about, that it'll help our conversation be richer when we get a little more specific. So I'm going to probably keep pushing on all of these points. It's early in the quarter. They're all really important, and hopefully this is helpful. So look forward to reading your homework and assignments this week, and